for January 26, 2026. Roll call, please.
Jones,
Here.
Vixen,
Here.
Clouser,
Here.
Hauser,
Here.
King,
Here.
Salvia,
Here.
Trent.
Here.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first thing on the agenda tonight is recognition of John E. Cieslick's retirement. Will you come up to the podium, please?
What?
Oh, and Nancy also, please. Whether she wants to or not.
Exactly.
Whether you want to or not, we're going to make you come up. All right, here we go. Resolution honoring John E. Cieslick. Whereas John E. Cieslick has served the city of Rochester with extraordinary dedication and distinction for 49 years as a member and leader of the Rochester Fire Department. And whereas throughout his tenure, Fire Chief Cieslick demonstrated visionary leadership and an unwavering commitment to public safety, professionalism, and service to the Rochester community. And whereas, under his leadership, the Rochester Fire Department was transformed from a part-time paid-on-call fire service into a fully staffed, full-time fire department capable of meeting the growing needs of the community. And whereas, Fire Chief Cieslick was instrumental in instituting advanced life support services for the community, significantly enhancing emergency medical response and improving the health and safety of Rochester residents and visitors. And whereas Fire Chief Cieslick oversaw and guided the planning and construction of the current fire hall, envisioned not only as a modern public safety facility, but also a welcoming community gathering place. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Rochester, the Rochester City Council hereby expresses its deepest gratitude and appreciation to Fire Chief John E. Cieslick for 49 years of dedicated service, outstanding leadership, and enduring commitment to the City of Rochester. And be it further resolved that in honor of his legacy and transformative impact, the Rochester Fire Station shall forever be known as the John E. Cieslick Fire Station. One more paragraph here. Be it further resolved that naming of the fire station as the John E. Cieslick Fire Station shall serve as a permanent reminder of Fire Chief Cieslick's vision, leadership, and lifelong dedication to the city of Rochester and its residents. This is adopted by the City Council this 26th day of January 2026. Deborah Jones, Mayor. Now, I do need a motion to approve this.
I'd like to
Mayor Pro Tem
make a
Vixen.
motion to approve naming the fire station after Chief John Cieslick.
Support?
I'll support
By
that.
Councilmember Trent. Roll call, please.
Jones,
Yes.
Vixen,
Yes.
Clouser,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Salvia,
Yes.
and Trent.
Yes.
Now. Yep. Can someone take a picture?
Yep, Joan's got it right there.
Joelle.
All right, Joan, we got you covered.
Come on over, Stuart. We've got a present for you from City Council also.
Gift from City Council. Well, thank you, Stuart. I appreciate it. I'll spend it all in one place.
Yeah, you guys get in front of your seal over there.
Yeah, you know what, here, let's,
We're gonna clean it up. Yeah, you guys all wanna go?
Everybody, let's everybody be up there.
Yeah, come on.
Everybody.
Everybody? I wasn't ready for photos today. I'm like, I'm not photo
you
ready.
really dress appropriately.
Winter ready.
Let's even it out.
There you go, yeah. Okay,
That's hilarious.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, stay up there for a minute. Chief George wants to say something, so.
Yes.
Stay right by me, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On behalf of the Police Department, first I'd like to say, Chief John, it's been an honor working with you for the last 2.5 years. You're probably one of the brightest administrators I've ever worked with. And our police department's very close with our fire department. We do a lot of things together. We work a lot of the events together. Our officers go on medical runs, they go on fire runs, so we have a good rapport with our fire department. But, when you work somewhere almost 50 years, and I know you don't do it for the money because you don't need the money, you do it for the love of the job. I mean, this man, we spend 3 hours a week in staff meetings with him, and, he always has the brightest ideas, but I got to tell you, you're sharp, and you made it this long because of your passion that you have for the job in the community. And I'd like to present this plaque to you on behalf of our police department. I won't read every little word. Certificate of Appreciation, Chief John Cieslik, Rochester Fire Department. Chief Cieslik has dedicated 49 years of service to the City of Rochester Fire Department and our community, exemplifying honor and dignity throughout his career. The police department sincerely thanks you for your outstanding leadership, for consistently fostering a professional partnership over the years. Your skills, knowledge, passion, and integrity have left a lasting impact on all of us. Your leadership has profoundly influenced many lives and has played a significant role in shaping Rochester into the community it is today. You will be greatly missed, and that's from my heart.
Aww. Nick, why don't you stand up there and do three of you, a picture of the three of you. Are you okay with it?
That's my trick.
Well, before I break down, just to reiterate what I had the honor to talk to council the last time, it's my honor to have been here. My honor to get the support of council. Couldn't have done what I did without your support. You provided the money, you provided the philosophical direction that you wanted the fire department. You always kept in mind the residents and what was right for the residents. And you always had fiscal responsibility, and we did things with all of those things in mind. So I appreciate Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council for all of the support that you gave me. Chief George, the fire department and the police department in a lot of places, they don't get along very good. But this fire department and police department rely on each other. And the things that the police department has done to go ahead and help make sure that the firefighters are safe when they go to calls and things are important. And quite honestly, the police department should be credited with every life that's saved within the city, because many times they were on scene first and started CPR or AEDs. So it was a great team effort that went along with those things. A friend of mine, Chris Coe. Chris and I have been together, I don't know, maybe longer than Nancy and I have been together. And Chris started out with community, and we stole her away from there, and she's still at the fire department doing her thing and everything else. And to my kids in the back, as I said 2 weeks ago, they got left at different places. I think Joe might have had to have walked home from someplace once or twice. And I can't tell you how many different family events that we left. And as I said, one evening at about 3 o'clock in the morning, about 10 below, Nancy says, "Have fun with your hobby." I am. So again, thank you again. It's been a privilege and my honor to have served here in the City of Rochester Fire Department, and trying to go ahead and keep up the quality of what the fire chiefs who did before me, and I know that the fire chiefs after me will do the same thing. So a bit of farewell to you. I'll always be there for the city if you ever need things, or you need somebody to pick up the dog poop, Nick, help out with those sort of things. So
You've done it before.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, thank you again. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I may, so anybody watching tonight, anybody here, Friday will be a celebration for the community, so between 4 and, thank you, 2 and 4 in this room, we have some more stuff for Chief John, and we've invited every board and commission, the community, the fire department, the police department, so I expect he'll just be coming in, say hi, his family hopefully can make it with us, and that way we can all celebrate that together, so thank you.
All right. We will move on. Can we have Chief George back up here again, please? We have a presentation by Lillian Coronado. She is a senior at Rochester Adams, and this is regarding the newly instated police cadet program. Welcome.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council, and thank you, Mayor, for the invite. Just a little background. Last year, we partnered up with Rochester Community Schools. They implemented their first police cadet program. And part of the program was, our department was to mentor one student a semester for 200 hours. So that's all that Lily was required to do, was 200 hours. And it's been, when did you start? September through January. Instead of 200 hours, she ended up working 322 hours.
Wow,
And
nice.
that is, and that's why it's so important that we want to implement our own police cadet program here, because this is an example why. Now I know Lily very well. I know what her work ethic is. I know how she speaks to people. I know how she networks with our officers. And if we were going to have a cadet program here, I would hire her in a second. And while she attends school, and once she graduates, if we had an opening, she would be hired. It would save us a lot of time and effort for the recruitment process. But one thing I can say about Lily, not only is she a great student, but she's a model young adult. I've never seen an adult at her age so focused. She's very passionate what she was doing, always respectful, professional. She came to all our events, and I didn't even ask her to come. She just volunteered to come. All the officers enjoyed her, having her here. She's the first graduate of this program. And so with that, she wants just to read a few things about her experiences, with our department. So with that, Lily.
Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council, Chief, staff, and community members. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Lillian Coronado, and over the past couple of months, I've had the privilege of completing a 200-hour-long police internship here in the city of Rochester through Rochester Community Schools. I'm a senior at Rochester Adams High School, and I want to be a police officer after I finish college. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to share what this experience has meant to me. When I first started this internship, I came in excited, but also a little nervous. I knew I wanted to learn more about law enforcement, but I didn't fully understand what day-to-day police work actually looked like. I thought I'd be mostly observing from the sidelines, but I didn't expect was how welcome I would feel from the very beginning and how much responsibility, trust, and mentorship I would be given. One of the biggest things I learned during this internship is that policing is so much more than what people usually see. It's not just about responding to calls or enforcing laws. It's about communication, empathy, patience, and problem solving. I got to see firsthand how officers balance authority with compassion and how important it is to treat every person with dignity, no matter the situation. I also spent time with dispatchers, and that experience really stood out to me. Dispatchers are often the first point of contact when someone is having one of the worst days of their life. I watched them stay calm under pressure, multitask constantly, and still take the time to be kind and reassuring. Seeing that made me realize how much teamwork goes into public safety and how every role in the department matters. Throughout my internship, officers took time out of their busy schedules to explain things to me, answer my questions, and include me in conversations. They didn't treat me like I was just an intern. They treated me like someone who mattered, someone who could learn, and someone who could eventually contribute. That meant more to me than I can really put into words. There were moments during this internship that challenged me. I saw situations that were emotional, stressful, and sometimes difficult to process. But those moments were some of the most important learning experiences. They showed me the reality of the job and reinforced how much responsibility comes with wearing the badge. It's not easy work, but it's meaningful work. This experience has also strengthened my interest in public service and law enforcement. It confirmed that this is a path I want to continue exploring. More than that, it showed me the importance of being involved in your community, caring about the people you serve, and always being willing to learn and grow. I want to thank the department for trusting me, mentoring me, and making me feel welcome from day one. Thank you to the officers, dispatchers, and staff who took the time to teach me not just about policing, but about professionalism, integrity, and service. And thank you to the City Council for supporting programs like this internship. Opportunities like this truly make a difference. They allow young people like me to gain real-world experience, build respect for public service, and better understand how our city functions behind the scenes. I'm incredibly grateful for these past couple of months, and I'll carry what I've learned with me moving forward, no matter where my future takes me. Thank you again for your time and for allowing me to talk about my experience.
Wow. Council, any questions?
I'm sorry, I just have to say, you're so impressive, and what also is so impressive to me is, I think half the force is here tonight. We've got dispatch. That just shows incredible respect for you and Chief George. Thank you.
And the other thing I wanted to just interject is a little thank you to Karen Malsbury, because she is the one who, I believe, started this program, but at least is running it right now. And I know we had a similar thing at the fire department. This was the first time here, and it's obviously very successful, and
And Charlotte
I
Oliver,
liked
she's
it.
been
No,
exceptional.
I wanted to.
she helping, that's awesome. Do you want, go ahead, yes.
Go ahead.
Councilmember Trent,
No,
no,
I'm
it's
just
fine.
waiting for you to finish.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I didn't know if they wanted a picture up front with the officers
Oh, yeah,
to
that'd
kind
be
of end her journey.
Yep.
Okay, all right, well, come up, Marilyn, go ahead, have your.
I wanted to thank you for taking the time to write that up, and that was, and just to add one level of another stress, but it was so meaningful to us to hear what you had to say. It means a lot, and thank you so much.
Very, very
You did a
well
very
done.
good job of explaining
So
your
if the
experience.
officers want to come up front and
Yep.
someone can take a picture?
Nick,
Jessica, will you take a
Sure,
picture?
yeah, I can take a picture.
Councilmember Cron,
well, right in front of.
come right up in front of us, yeah. Oh, I love that they all came to support you. That's very cool.
Thanks, Jess.
Actually, I'm taking it. I'm going to
You
take
had
a
to go
picture.
to, I had to deal with it. I'll put that guy. He's coming down first.
I could probably stand there.
Ready? 1, 2.
Wonderful, thanks again.
I know, I could have just stood. I don't know what I'm doing wheeling my chair around.
I think he was like perfectly positioned in front of the Rochester sign.
Yeah, in between, and I got my little boots.
Oh, those are cute. Oh, thanks. I'm like, are those navy? But they're black.
She's impressive. Wow. Wow.
And Christie gets to follow.
I know, yeah, sorry, Christy.
Hard act to follow. Well, wait 1 second, because I do have to say, if there's any other public comment that is not scheduled, something that we are not going to discuss later on the agenda, please enter the podium. You're welcome.
I wanted to just introduce myself to everyone here. My name's Christina Hines, and I'm running for Congress right now in our district. It is the southern part of Macomb County, as well as Rochester and Rochester Hills. And I am a mom of 3 little ones that are 10, 7, and 5. And like many of our folks that were just here from the police department, I was a prosecutor for 10 years. So I was a sexual assault and child abuse prosecutor. I handled human trafficking cases across Southeast Michigan, and public safety is one of my big passions. So when I think about the things that I would want to do in Congress, a big part of that is protecting our community and especially our kids. Honestly, we have these online crimes and predators that are coming after our kids. We've got social media companies that are, you know, benefiting off of the addiction of our kids, and so protecting kids is a big part of my passion. I want to make sure that our kids are able to grow up in a democracy and in communities that they can afford to live in as we as adults are helping build them. So I love this community. I grew up here almost my whole life in Warren, Michigan, in our district, and would love the opportunity to chat with any of you guys whenever you have time. I want to make sure that every single voice in this community is heard and that folks feel like they actually have somebody in Congress that's fighting for them, because I know over the last several years I have not felt like that. I think that the folks over in DC have felt very far away and like they don't really understand a lot of the real issues that we've been going through here in our communities. So if you do have any questions, my phone number is 586-944-8919. It's all online as well, Christina Hines, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have, and I appreciate the time just to chat with you tonight. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you for coming up. All right, anyone else? Any public comment? Anyone online? Megan?
Thank you. We don't have anyone online right now.
Awesome, thanks, Megan. All right, now, Heritage Festival presentation, the DDA Director, Christy Trevaros, come on up.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was a lot.
There's a lot of emotion.
Thanks for all that.
Yeah.
I have no plaques, I have no cadets, nor am I running for office, but I have a great presentation about the Heritage Festival.
Yes, you do. I know you do.
So
I can't wait.
Here we go. For anyone who doesn't know, I was asked by, at the time, Mayor Salvia, now just Councilmember Salvia, hey Nancy, if I might want to come and sit in on a meeting with the Heritage Days, which turned into this. Thank you for this as well. So somehow, sitting down, you may recall over the years, I've been sort of in and out of what was Heritage Festival, then Heritage Days, and it's now going to be Heritage Festival again. It's a really important event for our community, and over the years, as many events, you have people that come and go working on the committee, and I think they were at a crossroads last year, ended up having to cancel the festival last year, just put a pause on it until they could figure out where they wanted to go and what they wanted to do. So Marcy, Megan, and I have had the pleasure of working with that committee for the last few months, and I wanted to just stop by and let you know what we've been working on and what you'll be hearing from us on soon. So just to kind of go over things that are returning for Heritage Festival. First of all, the name, of course. The Civil War reenactors, I know that this is a key part of the event, and they will be joining us. The committee right now is also working on getting some additional reenactors that would be able to be a part of the event. The car show is back on both Saturday and Sunday. That is run by the Lions Club and is a very popular element of the event. So we're excited to have that back. Local music on the band show. We will be having music throughout Saturday and Sunday. It's all local bands, dance groups, you name it. There's a little bit of everything that's going to be happening on the stage. And again, these are all things that are already happening with the Heritage Festival. We love our nonprofit partners, and there is a nonprofit area that has always been a part of Heritage Festival, which will be returning, and that is an opportunity for any of our nonprofit partners to come and give out information, do activities, do whatever you'd like to do as a part of the Heritage Festival to add to everything that's already happening. We also have a couple of returning favorites, the Oakland Astronomy Club. Apparently this is quite a popular element of the festival. They will be returning as well, and then food trucks. Apparently everybody likes to eat, so we're going to have food trucks. So we're going to help them get a few extra food trucks as a part of the event. But I know you're all wondering, that's all great. That's been happening. So what else you got? So here we go. So kicking things off, we're going to have a kids' bike parade. What we found with Heritage Festival is a lot of times it's so deep in the park, when you roll up, you don't know what's happening. And so we want to get everything going right out, so when you pull up to the park, you know something's happening. So that'll be happening with a lot of signage and things like that. It'll also be kicking off with a bike parade in honor of America 250. We're going to be asking kids to come and decorate their bikes in red, white, and blue. And we're going to actually do an official ribbon cutting to open Heritage Festival, and then the kids will ride across the bridge into the park to kind of kick it off for all of us. Cool. So this, if anyone remembers, this was a part of Heritage Festival back in the day. They used to do a bike parade where the kids could decorate their bikes in any manner and be a part of the festival. So we're excited to bring this element back. We're also going to be doing a fishing derby. We're working with City Manager Bander with Trout Unlimited, so that we're actually going to have fishing demonstrations. Adults will be able to be doing some fly fishing. And then for the little kiddos, so that they feel good about themselves, we're gonna have like little kiddie pools with little magnetic fish so they can be fishing as well. We're also working on a fish craft. I don't know what that means, but Marcy does. There you are, right there. She's in charge of the fishcraft. There we are. In addition to that, we're going to be doing Touch a Truck. We've already talked with Nick from DPW and with Chief George and Chief John originally, but now Chief Scott, that we're going to be bringing a bunch of the fun vehicles out for the kids to climb over, get pictures with. This is something that we did with the Hometown Picnic and Pies years ago, and the kids absolutely loved it. So we're going to be pulling all that out. So that's going to be over in the parking area by the sundial. So again, when you come up to Heritage Festival, you're already going to be seeing lots of activities, getting you excited about what's happening to draw you into the park for more things. We're also engaging with the school clubs. This is something that Megan is especially passionate about. So we're going to be having the Lego Club from one of the high schools that's going to be coming, and they're going to be building with the kids. And then we're also going to have the Robotics Club that is going to be here, working with the kids as well. Kind of like this now and then thing that Councilmember Clauser had talked about at the last, she's also our new liaison to the Heritage Festival Committee. So she's already jumping right in with both feet, so we appreciate that. But we've got a few more things up our sleeve as well. The family activity area. So you may recall years ago there was a Pioneer Playground where they had all kinds of like Pioneer games and fun things like that. We are working with Rochester Hills Museum at Van Hoosen Farm with Pat McKay, and he assures me that they're going to have an incredible kids activity area with details to come. But he wanted me to share with you that the museum is back in, which is a big thing for us because the museum has not participated in Heritage Festival for many a year. So we're excited to have them back.
Wow.
And speaking of the museum, we're also bringing back the vintage baseball game. So if anyone recalls this, the Rochester Grangers will be playing a game of old-fashioned baseball at Heritage Festival. All they need is a team to compete against. In the past, it's been elected officials.
So in the past, it was Rochester Hills and Rochester City
Yes.
Councils.
Yes. So they need
a shortstop.
So I'm going to pass this one over to Nick. You get to field this one. Hi. They need a team of at least 9 to play, and that'll be on Saturday afternoon. So.
No pressure.
No pressure, but yes. But it's very easy. It's underhand. It's, as Pat described to me, a gentlemanly game of baseball. So it's very easy. So if anyone is interested, I'm going to pass this one to Nick to make sure that we get that team going. So this will be on Saturday, May 30th. But there's more. We're also going to be doing an evening concert. So on Saturday night, usually Heritage Festival would end at 6. We are going to be bringing in a local band to be doing a concert till 8 o'clock. So it'll be a little something extra to do in the park on a nice May evening. Hopefully the weather will be good, knock on wood. So we're excited about that as well. But as we were talking about this, we were trying to figure out what are some other elements that we might be able to bring into it that's very Americana, very hometown, very Rochester. And what might that look like? And so I'm very excited to share, for the first time anywhere, the La Puma's hot dog eating contest. I want to say I've talked Tony into this. It's a lot more of me dragging him with this because this is a lot to put together. It's something that he used to do out on the side along the creek by La Puma's. He and his dad, and they haven't done it for many a year, but he said it was always one of his favorite events that he did, and he always wanted to bring it back. And so we thought, what's more Americana, Rochester than a hot dog eating contest? So Tony is going to be helping us coordinate this. We're excited to have him. We're excited for all of this. This will be happening at noon on Saturday. So I think it'll be fun to participate and fun to watch. So more details to come on that and many other elements of the Heritage Festival. But we're excited to be a part of it. We think there's a lot of new things that we're bringing to the table. There are a lot of other ideas that have been thrown out that we're looking forward to doing in future years. But we thought this year is kind of a rebuilding year, so we didn't want to go too crazy, just crazy enough. So that's just my quick update. The only thing that I was mentioning, because I was asking Marcy about this, I know that there had been some discussion in committee for Heritage Festival. The current city allocations through the Historical Commission is $5,500. There was a lot of shaking heads to increase that by $4,500 to get us to an even $10,000. The reason I bring this up is that a vote has yet to take place, and I need to start planning this event. So just putting that out there.
So building on that, first off, wow. Just wow, okay. I mean, wow, I wrote it all down. It's wonderful, very, very exciting. But we will need a motion. Councilmember Trent, what is the motion?
The motion is to allocate 4,500 additional dollars for the Heritage Festival.
Thank you.
Do we have support?
Yeah, Rochester Heritage Festival, sorry.
No, you're on the committee. You do it, yes.
Councilmember Clauser, support.
I support, yeah.
Any discussion, questions?
Yeah, we talked
Mayor
about
Pro
this.
Tem.
Have we talked about this up here before?
We did.
Yeah.
We talked, at budget, it was only at the budget meeting. we talked about it. I don't think we talked
It was
about
the
it.
extra budget money, remember, it goes out of that.
Right.
Then we talked about it again here.
The whole council?
Did you,
So we're good? Was that a question?
I don't
That was a
know, if you, would you like, if you didn't feel like you talked about it, we can talk about it now. Because the idea was not to ask for 4,500 until Christie came and showed us what they're going to do.
Right.
Because we didn't want to jump the gun and say, hey, we need 4,500 without saying, here, this is our plan of the event. So that was the idea, but I didn't know. Anyway, if you'd like to comment.
Well, I'm just surprised we're voting on it when we haven't talked about voting on it. We're not voting on anything else tonight, are we? I mean, I'm not against it, I'm just
Okay,
saying,
okay, I just wanted to
it
make sure.
just came out of nowhere.
Okay.
I think
We talked about it in the budget.
we talked about it in budget,
Right.
but I think Marilyn's recalling correctly that we spoke of it here, but we decided we didn't want to approve something without knowing where the funds were going.
Yep. I
So-
did that presentation too. It wasn't much of a presentation. It was just
Right,
more a,
and
we're gonna see you
brief
soon
overview.
kind of a.
Yeah, but it was sort of chicken and egg. They kind of needed to know the funding before they decided the plan, but you've gone ahead and decided the plan and hopeful for the funding.
Yes,
Yes.
and keep in mind that the 10,000 is not to cover all of this. It's just seed monies because we plan on seeking sponsorships as we always do in partnerships.
Yeah, so that.
Councilmember Clauser.
Just a recommendation, so super supportive, right, I supported it, but to Stuart's point, or Councilmember Bixon's point, I think, it's not on the agenda as labeled as a voting item, we don't have a slide with the numbers, so just in the future, maybe we can put that together, and I think that's probably an easy ask, so then we can all be more prepared for a vote.
It was in our packet of info, but it was not, it was in the packet that we were voting on it, but it was not on the agenda. It is in the packet. Yeah, it's down here,
sorry, I missed it.
requested action.
see that.
The
was to
memo,
vote.
it's
Yeah.
page
Okay.
4 of 30.
That was the memo that
So,
Marcy had put in.
so the public could see it
Oh,
because
thank
it's in
you.
the
Okay.
packet. But to your point, we didn't put that there was a vote on the agenda. To your point also.
I missed that.
Thank you.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for putting this together, very clear, and all the thought that was put into it. And you still need a logo?
I sure do.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a cute little Canva graphic. This is not Maryland professional. This is
I
piece of
was
Canva.
like, I don't think that was, I didn't get to send it to
The
you.
sepia tone,
I like it.
Did you like that?
yeah, that's kind of
It
neat.
looks
You
like
can thank
parchment
Canva,
paper.
yep.
Yeah, looks like the Declaration
Well,
of Independence
it's-
paper, doesn't it?
There's been a
Yeah.
logo that was part of it that I have to clean up and send back, that was all.
Yes.
More work to come. Any other
Takes a village.
discussion or questions? Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Vixen,
Yes.
Clauser,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Salvia,
Yes.
Trent.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
It looks wonderful. Very exciting. Okay, approval of the consent agenda, which today is only the receipt of the check register report. Do I have a motion?
So moved?
To support?
Support.
Mayor Pro Tem motion, support by Councilmember Trent. Or not roll call. Yeah.
Jones,
Yes.
Vixen,
Yes.
Clauser,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Salvia,
Yes.
Trent.
Yes.
Okay. There is no old business. There is no public hearings. There is legislative deliberation. And this, I'm going to kick over to the city manager, correct?
Correct. Thank you, Mayor. In your packet this evening is a proposed resolution that is required from the Arbor Day Foundation. As I go through in December and we apply for Tree City USA, one of the basic things that you have to do is have your city council declare official Arbor Day through a resolution that the city clerk has to sign. So I ran this by the tree committee. We didn't have a meeting. We're having one in February so we can start planning Arbor Day. But they all saw the copy of this. So our chairman of the tree committee is Councilwoman Salvia. If you don't mind, Mayor, if she would read the resolution so we all know what we're voting on.
Great. Councilmember Salvia.
All right, here's a resolution. Arbor Day in Rochester, Michigan, to be held April 22nd, 2026. Here's some fun facts for you. In 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And the holiday to be called Arbor Day, whereas first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. All the good things trees can do for us: reduce corrosion of our topsoil, cut heating and cooling costs, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide a habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable source, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. Whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance economic vitality of our business areas, and the beauty of our community. Whereas trees, wherever planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Whereas Rochester has been a Tree City USA for 13 consecutive years, that's correct, right? 13. And commits to continue the programs and outreach needed to remain in good standing with the Arbor Day Foundation. Whereas Rochester is committed to working with both youth within our school system as well as our local residents and environmentalists to educate them as the value of our urban canopy, both on a personal and health-wise and economic property value basis. Getting close to the end. Whereas Rochester City Council established in 2020 a tree committee made up of 3 council members, 2 residents, whose main focus is on communicating the city's desire to continue to not only produce an existing tree canopy, but also to increase it with thoughtful tree planting, education, and preservation plan for all residents. Lastly, now let it be resolved that the Rochester City Council declares Wednesday, April 22nd, Arbor Day in the city of Rochester, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, we urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of future generations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Councilmember Salvia. So we need a motion to approve the resolution and stating Arbor Day will be April 22nd, 2026. Is there a motion?
I will make the motion.
Is there support? Support by Hauser. Madam Clerk?
Jones.
Yes.
Vixen.
Yes.
Clouser.
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Salvia.
Yes.
And Trent.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
And now staying with City Manager Banda, the annual tree report.
Yes, so I'm not going to bore you with all the details that were in here, but this year I kind of some weird things happened during the year, so I kind of juiced up the report a little bit. So again, this is part of the Arbor Day requirements that you make a year-end tree report. I was hoping to be able to put in here that this would be the year. If you remember back in Wayback Machine, we did a tree canopy baseline set like 5 years ago. And they wanted between 5 and 10 to reevaluate to see how you're doing. So there's a tool that the Arbor Society had, and I didn't know this, and I've been a professional forester for like 45 years, and they had a tool called iTree. It's everybody in the country uses it. And they got into a political fight somehow over the use of this with the company, and they just let us know last Thursday that they're going to discontinue the use of that, and we're all on our own to figure it out, which means you go back to the old ways where you take aerial photos and you have to calculate tree canopy. It's like, what? So I suspect.
It's on SEMCOG's website.
Yeah, you can't use it anymore as of the end of like a couple days ago.
I don't think it's iCanopy. SEMCOG has their own, I believe.
Oh, yeah, there's other ways to do it, absolutely, but the status is iTree because it correlated to everybody using the exact same thing. But, there's other ways to do it. I used to do it manually in the beginning. So anyway, I was hoping to be able to say that we were going to do that again this year, but we'll see how that shakes out. But actually, I'm happy to say there was less tree permits issued, like in the 80s, than the highest year, I think, was 136, which means people are taking more trees down, quite frankly. There's reasons to take them down if they're dead or dying, things like that. But I noticed it's starting to slow down a little bit about getting the importance that resolution talked about of don't take them down unless you really need to. So I'm happy to report that. The highlight of the year was on Arbor Day, we planted the mother tree at our new mini forest, which has been doing great. It had a great summer. Marilyn and I have met, Councilwoman Trent and I have met with representatives from Dearborn. I just talked to somebody for 2 hours from Rochester, New York, who wants to do a program. And they're going to fly somebody out here to meet with us because it's a stellar program. They can actually see it. So it's a big deal. They're actually going to do 200 acres, which is mind-numbing. But so it's pretty cool that we've gotten recognition for that. We love when I can say there are no illegal tree removals in the city. That's a great thing. We have an ordinance. We try to, people know about it. It's everywhere. Spring newsletter, fall newsletter, websites, all the arborist people know it, the tree companies know it. Yet some people, for whatever reason, still don't pull a permit, and it's almost impossible to get away at taking a tree down in the city without somebody calling me, Jason, our people on the street, code enforcement, say, hey, they have a permit. So if they don't, we're kind, but we go out and say, you have two choices. You're going to pull a permit, and then in retro, and then this is the value of the tree. I show how I do it, calculate it, and they have to write a check to the tree fund or plant that value on their own property. So in most cases, you can't plant enough trees on your own property to handle the value. So we had two, and both of them were home builders, which they just had a hiccup. They said that they knew they should have done it, so they'll plant trees back on their own site. But the big one that we talked about was the apartments, the Rochester Place apartments. Their fine was literally $118,000. They came in on a weekend with cranes and took down these giant silver maples and box elders all behind their carports, which were tearing up their carports. And if they would have come in, we would have made a deal to say, figure out the value of the trees, which was $80,080. And they would have had to do something there. They can't plant any trees on their site. And we said, well, I understand that, but the city shouldn't suffer. So we met with the tree committee. They came in, they lawyered up. We lawyered up, and we talked about, we came to an agreement that they're planting $80,000 worth of trees in the neighbors' backyards that were affected. So what the big worry was, the trees that were there in the summer created a barrier for the back of the apartments. So they got permission from each homeowner to plant trees in their backyard so that it will, and evergreens, a lot of them, so that'll screen it. And then we don't know yet, because they're going to do that in the spring, the balance of that money will go into the tree fund. So right now, the goal of the tree committee is to have $0 basically in the tree fund. So when we get $50 a permit, and any illegal tree removals would go into that, with the goal is to plant the trees. We don't need the money just sitting there doing nothing. So right now we have $26,732.93. From over the years, we're running out of places, believe it or not, in public space to plant trees. So the park's pretty full. And when we sell the little memorial tree things, so like $200 for those little tree charms, that goes into that fund also. We're gonna, we will, once, I'm going to guess, we're going to probably have another 30 or 40,000 in there, and then we'll sit down together and see if there's a way with the tree committee, what we can do. We're talking about doing something really cool on the 200, for America 250 on Arbor Day. Maybe we give out 250 trees to the residents and say, if you'll plant them, we'll give them to you, things like that. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks. So mini forest, every year, Carl, we work with this company to do a gypsy moth investigation. So that was the guy climbs the big oaks. There's 12 oaks in the city. If you see big yellow ribbons on them, that's our test trees. So he goes up there, uses a microscope, literally look for egg masses of what we're called gypsy moths. Now there's spongy moths. Yep. So, and then gives us a report about that thick. This year, we were up like 3% only, which is great. The state had an infestation about 4 or 5 years ago, wiped out up north, basically. The trees can make it through 1, maybe 2 years of deforestation in the summer. If you drove up past Midland, it looked like the fall. All the oaks had dropped their leaves already, or they were eaten by these spongy moths. So last year, they're gone. So hopefully we keep that going. So we actually put these bacteria in the trees that kills the egg sacs. So we're under control. We had a really good year with that, so we're excited about that. And then, again, as Riverfront starts to build, they have a letter of credit for $154,000, a tree bond for $154,000 $840. So when they build that property out, they have to plant that much on their property or put money in the tree fund. There, I think they're going to be able to plant a lot along the creek, along the river, along the trail. So, and we met again with Suave. They still know they owe us $752,587 worth of trees when that gets developed. We talked to them about just reforest from the old trail to the river. And last Wednesday, I met with a group that knows the Suaves that are like, maybe we could talk them into selling the property for something we want to do. So I said, you're going to owe us $782,000 worth of trees. They told us. I said, okay. So I think I told you this before. I'm worried that they planted them all. They won't be 7 inches for 15, 20 years. And if they ever came in and said we want to clear cut, they wouldn't even be regulated trees. So we're playing that game. But they are telling developers that they're talking to that there's that encumbrance on that property. So we'll let you know that. And I think that's it. So any questions? We're going to meet again in February with the tree committee. We'll come back to council with what we'd like to do for Arbor Day. We won't need any money. We have money in the tree fund.
Yeah, that is a very thorough report. Any questions, council? Councilmember King.
Sorry. I'm just curious, with the two projects, Riverfront and then the Suave property that have, allotments that they owe, is there a timeline? Like, when do they have to do this?
Yeah, the way they're written were before they can get a C of O, so when they pull plans, so there's no drop dead, like, again, and I didn't want to say this too much on TV, but if they planted them now, they'd be 2.5 inches in diameter. Immediately, they become non-regulated trees. So they could literally come in and clear cut all of them and just have to not replace them with a site plan. So they were all regulated because they were over 7.5 inches when they did them. So they're perpetual bonds, so I've got their money until they do something. So we did not, at the time, in either of those cases, put a dollar figure. We have a restoration bond that the Planning Commission put on both those projects, and Suave doesn't even have an approved plan anymore. Randazzo does. You saw the diggers are down there. I think as soon as the snow's off the ground, they're ready to start going. So they'll keep moving. So they don't get their money back until they get a C of O and all the trees are planted on the site. Suave, it's just in perpetuity until they build something there.
How long has it been now since Suave? 15 years?
Well, no, I think the last time they got approved was in 2008. So we're getting there.
I mean, I understand what you just said, but I mean, this is just, they're never going to do it.
Yeah, I don't have any, it's the way it was set up. I didn't set it up, city council set it up in a special project, so.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Okay, thank you very
No
much.
actions, that's just a report. Thank you. All right, next, we have Director Schaefer, come on up. We have consideration to approve the contract with DC Byers and DLZ Engineering to complete Phase 2 maintenance on the east and west parking decks in the amount of $2,038,780. Take it away.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So what we're looking for approval tonight is essentially those pads that you see in that packet are the shock absorbers on the decks. So over time, looking at 10 years now since the deck's been up, those pads are starting to work their way out from underneath the platform. So what they have to do is they have to lift up the decks, shore it, pull them out, and put new ones in. And there's multiple locations you see on the map that they need to do this. That's why you see that price is that number's kind of growing. It's the effort that's involved. And then DLZ will be the sign-off engineer and inspection on this project, on both east and west deck. So yes, tonight we're looking to award the project to DC Byers in the amount of $238,780. And we did budget this year for $260,000 for this project.
Council, any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve. Hard to argue with having to do this.
Yeah, it is the kind of one, and you sent good information to back it up. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem. Support?
I'll support. This was reviewed at Asset Management as well, so
Right.
thank you.
Yep. All right. City Clerk? Councilmember King.
Just curious, do we have an idea of how long these replacement pads will last and what, like, the ongoing maintenance is?
Kind of the question I brought up, and I look at the timeline of when the decks were constructed, and this is the first time they need to be done. So we got roughly 10
10
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now,
Is there other maintenance?
Yep.
We did bonds for the decks, right? We're still paying those off with the parking fund money. I'm just curious of like,
Yeah, so,
we gonna-
Mayor, if I may help?
Yes,
So,
of course.
in the budget for the parking advisory committee and the parking fund, thank you. We knew right out of the gate forever, we had made it, so we set aside X amount of dollars. So we've already done the seal coating, we've done fixing the walls. So it's going to be, every year, there's going to be something to do. They're cement decks, so even while you're paying it off, but you built, the rates that we asked for, built that into the budget. So we don't come and say, oh, we need 2 million this year and didn't budget for it. So it's building up the pot so that we have the money there. This isn't new money, this is planned for money. It's virtually forever. So
Okay,
it just
and this is-
costs of owning a deck.
and it's coming from the parking fund?
That's correct. It's paying for itself. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
Did I miss that part?
Madam Clerk?
Jones.
Yes.
Vixen.
Yes.
Clauser.
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Salvia.
Yes.
And Trent.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, on to reports from the various boards. City Beautiful Commission, Councilmember Clauser.
Yeah, so it's that time of year where we start talking about goals and objectives, and so at City Beautiful, that's what we did. We updated the mission statement for the City Beautiful Commission, minor changes, there was no real change to scope or anything like that. I'm assuming it gets posted online at some point once it's finalized, but that was one thing we tackled. And then we talked about goals and objectives, and the sound amplifier project is still moving forward and a priority for City Beautiful. That is in partnership with a Boy Scout for his Eagle Scout
yep.
Award. And then we talked about some other projects. So the raised beds, the sensory gardens at the picnic shelters at the Alt Park, still working on that and adding things to that. We talked about a rain garden by the Paint Creek Trail in the park in the springtime. Some ideas that we talked about, but I don't think we're ever completely finalized yet, but things we were kicking around was in some of our parking lots, like on Walnut, there's small spaces for gardens, and so City Beautiful talked about maybe taking those on. Revamping the former garden at Scott Street Park. There was an opportunity for an outdoor fitness center or station, kind of replacing the fitness equipment we have. I think it was agreed that City Beautiful is probably not the right spot for that, right? Falls kind of outside of scope of beautification. So myself, Jason, and then Rara, others are getting involved, so they're going to keep exploring that. But just transparency, that was talked about. And that is it, I think.
Awesome, awesome, great. All right, next is Paint Creek Trailways, Councilmember King.
Yes, so a few things that we talked about. We're going to have a sponsor for the doggy do bags on the trail. Wag and Wash, who's located at Silver Bell and Adams Road. They're going to be providing the bags. We're looking for other partnerships where it doesn't include putting up like a massive sign. So their signage will be the bags themselves. And so they'll be marketing directly to the users of those bags. So that's great. That'll be like, I think $540 a year that they'll be taking out of the budget. There is, I think we talked about this before, there is a project going on in Orion Township that is asking for an easement to the trailways. The development of that, I think it's behind the Jacobson's Floral Building. The development of it would require running like pipes and stuff under the trailways, so they're asking for a permanent easement for the stuff going under and then a temporary easement for working on it. We have, we've approved to have our legal counsel work on an escrow agreement and send that over to them. And then we are also engaging an engineering services firm, PEA. We selected somebody that one of the member communities was familiar with, but was not conflicted by the project. I forget if it was Mosheri or somebody uses AEW, so we couldn't use the Rochester
that's
one.
right,
So
AEW,
PEA will be doing an independent engineering services review for the Paint Creek Trailways to ensure that we are comfortable with the project before it gets approved. So we've not approved the easement yet.
We did our committee appointments. Marilyn, you were appointed, I know, to one of the committees. I think you got a text message during the meeting and approved that, so thank you.
I was voluntold, yep.
Yeah. And then also, I don't think it has been sent yet, but I did receive a draft of a letter that would be going to Marcy and Anthony and all the member communities regarding the budget, asking for a 3% increase for office operations and administration. In the past, for a while, they did not have a full-time administrator. We've only been able to cover the budget for like 25 hours a week, and this person's putting in a full 40 hours a week. So some money will be drawing from their fund balance, and then also asking for an increase, given some of the increased patrol fees and other things. We have not signed off on the audit, and so the letter has not been sent yet. I believe that'll be at the next meeting.
There's just something on the screen there.
Oh, I didn't know if Mr. Hauser had Councilmember Hauser had a question.
Building to catch on fire, that's all.
I was
overheating.
That projector is,
Yeah.
Councilmember King, you lost the crowd in the last.
All right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think we're good.
Everybody was looking at this.
Budget request? I believe so. Okay, that should probably just be clear. But it hasn't been finalized yet, so waiting for the 23 and 24 audit to be released, because we did not have an administrator and they did not do their financials.
Oh,
So,
okay.
those are being finalized.
I just have a question.
Enlighten me, Councilmember Trent.
Yes, did they talk about the overflow pipe in the wetlands? Did they go over that? And then my understanding is that it is the Jacobsons is
I
what
think
my
it's the same thing.
daughter used to call Jacobsons, Jacobson's Flower Shop, that it's the whole, it's not behind it, it's the whole area. I mean, they're selling, and Jacobson's Flower Shop goes up, I mean, just minor detail. But did they talk about the overflow pipe?
Not at that meeting.
Okay,
No.
all right.
All right, thank you.
May I
Yes,
ask,
you want to add? Yeah.
on the trails, or the bridge, they're back in, they're working. I just saw some pictures yesterday. We got an alert that they've got the trussel set on the outside. So they're getting ahead of it now. Even in this cold weather, they've been able to do it. So you can see some of the materials are disappearing finally down the trail. So I think they're pretty happy with the
And
way
I
it's
do,
going.
I want to add on, so I get alerts on my phone. I don't know if everyone knows they can have that.
They can.
Which
I do too.
How do they sign up for that?
I think off of our website.
Okay, so they let you know when they're working on the bridge, which I think is a cool little.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
2 seconds, yeah. Okay, next, the DDA, Councilmember Clauser.
Yeah, so, same thing, goals and objectives, but before I get to those, there's one thing for awareness, so, and Nick, and Attorney Carra, I might need to lean on you for some of this too. So my understanding is that Oakland County had a policy change that potentially impacts the way the TIFs are structured. I think it was Oakland County and not of the state. It doesn't, my understanding is, apply to us currently, but will when our DDA is reauthorized in 2030. And, but given kind of, shall I say, the prestige and prominence of our DDA, they thought it might be worthy of putting together a policy position on it to share back with Oakland County, because it's potentially unfavorable, but I think they were going to look into that more. So more to come on that. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add or.
Yeah, Christy, we're going to meet and talk about it, so.
And then for goals and objectives, Movies in the Moonlight is going to be paused. That funding is going to be reallocated to Dancing in the Street, so it's a 2-day event with sidewalk sales. I actually think this might be PSD, but they brought it up, so I'm going to mention it. The Halloween Festival is going to continue, but they're hoping to move it from the parking lot down to the market in the Graham, back to where it used to be. The DDA, and I think City Beautiful, I should have mentioned this too, I think all budget submissions are due at the end of March to the city, and so I think more to come on when we see them, the city council, but they're submitting their budget.
Nervous.
No, Marcy?
February.
February, the committee's budgets are due March, we see the budgets, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
is when we're asking for them, February 6th.
Okay, thank you. Capital projects, so, the market in the Graham, and again, maybe Nick, I'll ask for your help because Christy left, but, my understanding is the project's facing I think 3 million is what I captured in my notes, in added costs due to poor soil conditions and other things. They're still evaluating this, but they're proposing a 2-phase approach, and I think that's to help mitigate or spread out the cost. But phase 1 would be kind of building bathrooms, ADA ramps, upper floor dumpster enclosures, things like that. The second phase would be the parking lot where the farmer's market used to be and improvements there, additional site elements as well. I think one of those things too was on the electrical pole, or on the light poles, installing electrical for the vendors at the markets. That's one of the things that would be likely in phase 2. They have a critical deadline though of September 30th to cut ribbon cutting because of grant funding, to retain that funding. But they are planning on moving the farmer's market to where it was previously. They think the construction will not be in the way for that, but they are potentially going to propose closing Water Street temporarily on Saturdays to accommodate vendor expansion until the market opens. So that was some of the stuff at the market in the Graham. They are exploring a social district. This requires a lot of consideration, and they're going to go through all that. They talked about, though, designated signage, approved locations. They talked about cups that would be required. So there's a lot to it, and I don't want to steal their thunder because I'm sure they're going to come and present, but just awareness that they're talking about that. And they're going to talk to the police, city manager, MDOT. They're doing a very comprehensive evaluation, but they are interested in that. The Big Bright Light Show, great success this year, as everyone saw, lots of attention. They estimated about 45,000 visitors that came and 1.1 million social media views on one post that Christy had posted on the DDA website. Got that much attention. So, and then she had several slides of just all the national press that it's gotten. So just a fantastic event for the city. They did talk about some new concepts. I won't go through those because, again, they're very early and they're their ideas and they want to share. But they did talk about new ideas to expand the Big Bright Light Show, which is really exciting. They also talked about sponsorship potentially with that. And then the Love Local Art Program, they're planning to do a mural on Huntington Bank. So that's exciting. They talked about the alleys and Edison lights and things like that to also do next year. They were accredited. Main Street, I think the DDA is going to come and give us a more thorough update and probably an award or certificate for that. I think I'm getting ahead now. Okay. They talked about a Foodie February pilot. The restaurants are getting engaged. They're having like a subcommittee of restaurants, which is super exciting. I don't think they've ever done that before. And they did have a good turnout. And so now the restaurants are kind of coming together to brainstorm ideas to keep people coming to the restaurants. And Foodie February is something they're going to pilot. Again, more to come. Holiday Expo will be at the Royal Park. It'll actually be in the bigger spaces. I think they've had the smaller space. Yeah, the whole ballroom this year because they had over 800 attendees and they need a larger venue, and so they did get approval for that. So that is all the goals and objectives that they talked about.
Wow. Very thorough.
Yeah.
Just a side note about closing the street, because they were in the parking structure, they were able to have more vendors. So farmers market got bigger, and once the Graham is open, that works out great because they have the upper space. They don't want to lose those vendors, so until the Graham is completed, that's why they're going to close it. Ask for approval. And I think they own that road, so it just will not be a pass-through on those Saturdays during those hours, so.
A question. So is the Graham $3 million budget, or is it total, or is it 3 million over budget?
It's total.
I'm going to look to Nick. I didn't.
It was, they were hoping 2.7, came in at 3.4, they're getting it down, trying to get back to 2.7, so. They came in over $3 million where they bid it out. It's like,
They're still,
all these
it's
peers,
still a
so
work in progress.
They're working.
Yeah, they're working hard. They've taken quite a few things out to bring
They
it
had a
down.
meeting last Friday with the architects and stuff, so.
Thank you.
I forgot, Mayor Jones, you're in the meeting too.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I should have looked at you too.
No, but you're the deliverer of the information, so thank you. Okay, next we have back to Councilmember King for RARA.
Okay, so I have 2 meetings to cover. I have my infographic that I wanted that I forgot last time. This is the year-end summary. I'll pass it along for those to see, but I'll share a few highlights. So 2025, fantastic. Our revenue for the year was $2.18 million, which exceeds our 2019 and 2018 pre-COVID levels, which were at 2.03 million and 1.98 million, or 1.9 million. So we are back to pre-COVID levels. That also includes the fact that the dance program, essentially, the competitive dance program that RARA had for many years, essentially went away when the dance basically was taken private by a number of organizations. There is dance programs still through RARA. They don't do the big recitals and everything that they did before. Basically, it's leased space. And so there's a number of people that are doing dance programming there. But incredible to see that, the revenue generation and the participation is above those COVID levels, especially just given all the changes that they've had. So for 2025 year-end summary, RARA has served over 16,900 people with 862 programs. There were 212 new programs. And the facility itself had 79,311 visitors. There's now a tracker like in the doorway when you enter, so we can kind of monitor people coming and going. RARA also utilizes outside facilities, so a number of parks, Spencer Park for summer camps and other parks, the schools for basketball and other sports. We paid $167,000 to access outside facilities for the year. RARA invested $486,000 in local talent through their workforce. Some other community highlights, there were 1,100 attendees for Music in the Park, 2,200 for Bites and Beats by the Paint Creek, and that was, I believe, 6 days, because I think they did reschedule the one date. They are planning to do that again next year, and I think it's going to be on a regular, like, every other week schedule, so versus kind of, it was a number of different days, so it'll be more throughout the summer. And there were over 3,000 visitors for tons of trucks. A number of capital improvements that were done. Outside of the field house, there is a game room. It has a ping pong table, a big TV. There's also a TV that allows you to see what's happening in the field house for safety of monitoring the participants. There are some like standing video games like Pac-Man and other things like that. And it's just like a nice rec space, great for like after school programming and things like that. There's an esports computer lab, and they're starting to putting together an esports competition. The hammock landing, which we have enjoyed over the summer, right off of the trail behind the building there. Parking lot improvements, which are going to continue. The back of the back alley was redone, and we're going to be doing, I think, the front half of it as well. The front entrance, the awning, the lighting there, redoing the railings, which had been crumbling, taking care of some water issues. It looks so good. And then also the Paint Creek room had some big updates. Sponsorship and funding raised $64,262 last year, with 125 participants receiving sponsorships totaling $17,333. We also completed the strategic master plan. One of the things with that was wanting to have one done so that RARA would be able to go out and seek grant funding possibly in the future. The way that RARA was set up was long before some of the rec authority kind of structure existed, and so it was formed as this interlocal agreement between Rochester, Rochester Hills, Avon, and then the school districts participating. The interlocal, it doesn't allow for perpetual encumbrance, which basically of real property, which means RARA does not have permanent ownership of the building. If the organization was to dissolve, the property gets returned to the member communities. And that precludes RARA from necessarily seeking some grants. I believe that there are some grants through the MDNR that might be eligible, but a number of them are excluded because of that. And so there's been some recommendations in the strategic master plan process for RARA to be reincorporated as a rec authority. I think there's some ongoing conversations. If the organization and the board members decide to pursue that, we'll obviously come in and talk with the member communities about that. One of the things with that is because Rochester Hills has a millage, they would have to reapprove the millage, and the timing when this was brought to our attention was right before the millage, so we decided they just did this for 10 years. It doesn't make sense to visit this now unless there was something we really wanted to do that needed this type of funding, so it's kind of been pushed off. And then lastly, so the organization, I've been so impressed with the leadership and the employees of RARA, and every one of them now has completed, there's a couple different certifications, but they all have Parks and Recreation professional certifications. They are really like the best in the industry. They're going to certain conferences and learning, and they're also sharing their knowledge, and they're learning from a lot of different organizations, which I think has just helped to strengthen RARA and brought a lot to our community. So really proud of the team for doing that. I think that's about it. So, any questions?
Yeah, any questions? That was very comprehensive. Thank you.
Oh, and then David will be coming to present the budget in maybe February timeframe. So.
Great. I did reach out to them today because there's still discussion about the Lions Park and how that will roll out this year, because there's a chance that alcohol cannot be served there, and so we're not quite sure how that's all going to work out this year. It might look different. We're still working on it, on ownership of that little corner. All right, next, Rochester Community House, Councilmember Salvia.
Yep, so the last board meeting was January 20th. We had 100% attendance of the board, so I think that's because everyone is just really wanting to hear the update on what is going on with the building, what is going on with the state funding, so that was the main topic of conversation. But interestingly, financials, 2025 was the same from a revenue standpoint as 2024 without any weddings, because there's been so much uncertainty. They really had no weddings, and that is really a big piece, typically a higher revenue part of the budget. So $365,000 was the same as 2024, which is above pre-COVID levels. So, and excitingly, the community house is updating their telephone system. So they've come into the 2020s. Thank you.
All right. I am the Historical Commission liaison, and I was not able to attend the meeting because I had a different meeting, so I have no report, I'm sorry to say. And then Budget and Finance, Councilmember Trent.
Yes, on Friday, February 23rd, Marcy Moriwaki, our Deputy Finance Director, Deputy Treasurer, presented to the Budget Committee a preview of the financial report, long-range projections, and how proposed budget items align with council and staff blended priorities through the SWOT that they did, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The meeting was informational with council questions to be submitted following the workshop that was the next day at the fire station. The city is projecting continued operating surpluses, and long-range forecasts indicate that the general fund balance will remain well above the council's minimum policy level. Let's see, the staff outlined potential this was Friday, this is the day before our budget workshop, potential budget proposal breakdown totaling $2.4 million. Including about $667,000 in recurring annual costs, which were reviewed at our Saturday budget workshop. Key areas discussed included park and facility improvements, operational staffing needs, public safety and technology considerations, accessibility compliance requirements, future capital and equipment planning, and select debt paydown opportunities, one opportunity, I guess you'd say, for the vehicles. Staff also noted the need for future council direction for the community house funding or renovation funding, depending on the project scope and external funding, which was the state. What's going to happen there with our grant, at the 2 million grant at the state, whether we get it or not. That was it.
Awesome, thank you. I just want to say a note here real quick that how much it's appreciated, all the boards and commissions that everyone's on, and like the enthusiasm involved in it, and the reports that are given, and I think it's important to the community, that extra work everybody does, how excited you are about all the committees and boards, so thank you for all that. Is there any other public comment? Megan, is there anyone?
Thank you. We don't have anyone online.
Thank you. All right, we will start down here. City clerk.
Nothing this evening, Your Honor, thank you.
City manager.
We got that. Thank you to DPW. Obviously, they've been out every day for the last, I think, 26 days. So they're doing a good job cycling through and trying to not go over everything 3 times. They've been doing a good job. And people put their comments into C-Click Fix, and Jason responds quickly. Jason respond pretty quickly, and we've got really good feedback like, oh, you did hear me. You know, we had one today, and I'll say this for anybody watching. Guy said, I went out there and I broke my snowblower trying to fling the ice at the bottom of my driveway. You're going to buy me a new snowblower, right? And we're like, no, we would not buy you a new snowblower because you should use a shovel for that, or just leave it there and run it over, quite frankly. At some point, you have to use a little common sense that we don't know if it's an old snowblower or whatever. So, but he was cool about it. It's just like, well, I thought I'd check. So I thought, okay, I don't blame you for checking. But then today we got back at the ice rink. So it's pretty much clear. They were able to get the Kubota out there. I think there's 8 inches or 9 inches of ice. So we're trying to keep that open now. It should be for a while, the way the weather is. So I know the guys have been great. Chief George and Chief Scott and Chief John said knock on wood, we didn't have a whole lot of issues. You saw in the manager's report there was one issue in the street with a police officer, which none of us understand. But overall, it went pretty well. And people, instead of a snow emergency, which we'd call the mayor, and she would have to declare that with us. And it's funny, today at 6 o'clock news, Melvindale got in a fight between their city council and their mayor and the DPW director and the city manager because the mayor pro tem down there said, snow emergency, and then all the residents got ticked off because it didn't snow as much as they thought. They need 4 inches. So we have a protocol that we do here. But if you see something, it's Jason Dickinson will call Keith Harper and Megan and Marcy, and then we say, we would appreciate if you would keep your roads off tonight, so the cars off the road, so that we could get at. It's not a snow emergency. It's
Okay.
different. So
That's good
those
to
are just,
clarify
please help us out if you can. And we've got really good results, quite frankly. So there's 2 different, these are just, hey, we have the alert system, help us out a little bit. And that avoids those calls if you plowed me in. If you leave it there, you're going to get plowed in.
Right.
So that's it.
City attorney.
Nothing, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the DPW, especially yesterday. I thought they did a really good job. The side streets, I know my side street was done early and well, so thank you for that. And I want to thank Nick and staff and the council for the budget meeting Saturday. There's a lot of work went into it, and, you know, I always say, city council, the most important thing we do is our budget, and so that was a good start. So thank you to everybody. That's it.
Well, I just agree with Mayor Pro Tem Bixson. That was exactly what I was going to say. I really appreciated everything the staff and the directors presented to us and how well it was presented, and it was easy to follow. They answered questions, and they gave us opportunity from our budget workshop on Saturday to send in questions before our February 28th meeting. So, yeah, and thank you, DPW. I hear those trucks and going by our house on University, going down the street quite often. So thank you for all you do.
Mayor, if I just meant not to be a suck up here from anybody, but we appreciate the comments back after the meeting. Staff, we talk about it, and that means a lot to say. And the fact that you guys were prepared, open minds, that was, for us, that's a great meeting. Remember we talked about that podcast thing? It didn't happen because you guys worked together. So we were very thankful. Every single person after said that to me, so you need to know that. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Councilmember Hauser.
Sure, I'll echo what my colleague said about the budget meeting. I mean, the level of information that's provided to us, there's no way we could make decisions that we do without the data that you guys provide. So thank you very much for that. It's very informative and helpful. And then similarly, DPW, well done. I talked to Nick yesterday, but very quickly, not to sound like a nerd, how are we doing on our salt capacity? Do we have enough? I mean, are you looking like we're going to be okay for the end of the year?
Jason?
Okay, thank you.
And I think, because I reached out to Nick there about the cost, because they're talking about how all the costs went up. And it was a pre-buy, and it had something to do with state, what did you say to me? You told me.
Yeah, we're on the state contract with salt pricing, so they can't raise them.
So
We're in good shape.
we're in good shape, yeah. Councilmember Salvia.
Yes, regarding the budget workshop, it was a really good workshop, and what impressed me about our city administration is the use of artificial intelligence. You know, in the business world, that it's the topic of the day. You know, how are you integrating AI? And so government isn't always on that cutting edge, but I was really happy to hear that pretty much all areas of our city administration is using AI to get us better data, to organize data, you know, not to replace people, but use AI for what it's good for. So that was really exciting, and it does help us. It helps council. And my fun fact of the day is we all know it's America's 250th birthday, but did you know it's the state of Michigan's birthday today? So happy birthday, Michigan.
Nice. Thank you for that. Councilmember King.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to Jason Warner. He's been incredibly patient and helpful. Mayor Jones and Councilwoman Clauser and I have met with him, and the representative from Schneider regarding the playground. We also expressed some interest in other equipment structures and ideas, and so he went out and kind of sourced those vendors and has really done a lot of legwork there. So we'll hopefully be bringing some of our ideas to you, but he's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting there and has been very receptive to the ideas and taking a fresh look at that playground. So I'm really excited. I think we're going to have something really good for that.
I think this is what I'm going to get for going last all the time. I'm kind of repeating everything you did. But so I had to thank you for the staff for the budget workshop. It was great, and you can tell there's a lot of thought that's put into the projects that are presented and the proposals and the planning for the next coming years. So appreciate that. Thank you to the DPW for all of the work that you guys have been doing, keeping the roads cleared. And then Jason, same thing. The work you're doing with the playground and all the asks and rabbit holes we send you on has been greatly appreciated. So thank you.
I guess I'm going to just ditto and not repeat everybody's thank you. I just want to end with just another compliment to Jason Warner, because we're doing a lot of exciting things with parks right now, and I am so excited about this year in parks, and we're still working on the skate park. It's done, but, and then Elizabeth Park is coming. Both of our parks are being redone, our playground areas. And so this year is the year of the park for Rochester, and I'm just super excited about all the stuff that's going on. And then finally, I was able to sit in on the Main Street accreditation, and the gentleman who was there had come in from Louisiana, so he was at a higher level, a national level. And I was so proud of the discussion, and what we have here in Rochester is incredible when you're talking to a new person, that we're built on a trail system and all that we have with the DDA and the community and its walkability. And so I'll just end on how blessed we are for the city of Rochester and all that it offers.
Yeah, and I always get the pleasure of Christina and
You go to lunch?
they always want to go to lunch. So John Pry's the greatest guy. He's the program.
he is.
The guy from Louisiana, what he was most impressed with, and again, this sounds like I'm being a suck up, was the relationship between your city council and your DDA. Is you guys work together and you get them to, the council gets them to give money into a parking fund and can you guys come to the national and talk about that? And we said we'd be glad to. So that was, he's blown away that. How it's like this, and he said, I'm telling you, I've been doing this 26 years. I never hear that from anybody.
That's exciting.
So that's a cool thing.
And then for me, finally, just very exciting they wanted to turn the lights on for them, and Christy let me switch the switch. So. I know, it was complete.
That's,
Councilmember Club.
Just what, Nick's comment made me, I just did the Michigan Municipal League newly elected officials training, and I just want to say, the takeaway is, for everyone, I think here is, we have such a great team, to your point, Nick. Some of the things and questions that people raise about how they do or do not get along with certain parts of their governance structure or the people they work with and the questions, I was just thanking my lucky stars throughout that training that is not us, and we just have such a great team. And so I just kudos to everyone. The workshop, there's so many things I learned at the training that our team hit on all those important things. Everyone's just on it. It's really impressive.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we can adjourn. What time is it? So many good things. 8:24, we're adjourned. It's very, very kudos and kudos and kudos tonight.